Hello, and thank you for joining me for this fifth talk in my series of theological discussions. The title of this talk is The Miracle That Gave the Green Light. As far back as I can remember, possibly to the age of 7, 8 or 9, I've always wanted to be a priest. And I don't really know why I have wanted to be a priest. Or should I say, I wanted to be a priest. I don't actually know why. It was something within me that over time revealed itself. I felt as though the priesthood would be a great career or not so much a career, a vocation for myself. I had this strong desire within me that was developed over the years to express my understanding, my experiences of God in my very young day-to-day living. I wanted to basically express these experiences and feelings and understandings and knowledge to the world. And so I saw the priesthood as a means to do just that. At the time, as a young child, there was no other way. There was nothing else that I could do at the time to express this deep desire for God. Basically, I wanted to tell the whole world about this God who, over time, through prayer, like all of us, reveals himself to us. At the time, I had a very low self-esteem, not so much in my early years, not so much when I was 7, 8 or 9, but in the later years, when I was 17, 18 or 19, I had a low self-esteem, and I had this great desire to join the local seminary in Sydney, but I didn't have the confidence or I don't know what the word is. Basically, I thought I wasn't good enough. I saw the priesthood as a profession. In the same way as someone may see a doctor or a teacher or a nurse. I saw the priesthood as a profession, and basically I didn't think of myself as being very professional. So I also, as I said, I lacked confidence, and basically I couldn't even make the first move. And basically the first move to entering the seminary is basically getting a contact number and ringing them up and going down and having a chat. Well, I couldn't even do that. I would spend time in prayer, praying, for this confidence. And sometimes, on a number of occasions, maybe once, twice or 3 times, I even put God on the spot. And I said, I won't enter the seminary unless you do something, unless you intervene, unless you do something special for me, I won't do anything for you. And so it happened. I remember before the event took place, I asked my brother David, I asked him, can you go down to our piety store, the little shop at the front of the church, and buy this little blue crucifix for me? And the good brother that David is did just that. He purchased this little blue crucifix, which I have here. He purchased this little tiny blue crucifix for me. I asked him, can you go and purchase this little blue crucifix for me? And he did. Now, what happened with this little blue tiny crucifix, which I have right now and I hold very dear, is that after praying as I did as a young adolescent and as a young adult, this crucifix began to bleed real drops of blood on our Lord's head, on our Lord's crown of thorns, and on his side where he was speared. Little tiny droplets of blood formed, and a strong odour erupted of some kind of incense or myrrh that took over my whole room. This strong odour erupted and filled my entire bedroom. You could not see it, but you could feel it. I went immediately out into the lounge room and I showed my brother. My brother too witnessed this miracle. I would take this little crucifix with me to work, and this miraculous event went on for 1, 2 or 3 days, no longer than 3 days, and I would take this little crucifix with me to work. And during my lunch break, I would sit out in the backyard, in the engineering yard, where all the bits and pieces were, where the engineering department would, fabricate, make and build for the factory, that I work for, the small factory that I work for. And instead of having lunch, I would just sit in this backyard and gaze at the crucifix as it bled drops of blood. And the funny thing is, I didn't share this miracle with anyone, even though at the time I worked with a couple Greek people and a couple Italian people who would have loved to see what I saw. But for some reason I kept this miracle a secret. I kept this bleeding cross a secret. I thought, I didn't even think about sharing this miracle with those around me. I saw it as something that was very special, something that was only for me and for nobody else. It was my miracle. I asked God, I won't enter the seminary unless you give me a miracle. I will not enter the seminary unless you do something for me. And God gave me this miracle so that I would get the courage to enter the seminary. You should never put God to the test. We believe firmly that you should never put God to the test. But sometimes in life, we have to put God to the test so that we know that God is real, so that we know that God is God, that there is a God, that the things that we believe, we do not only believe, but the things that we believe are real. The things that we believe are real. What I'm trying to say is we're not just born. We do not just live. We do not just die. There is much, much more to it. There is much, much more to this thing that we call life. There is a God, and God is real. Indeed, He is. If you like this video, please like it. And please, I would like every one of you to subscribe to this channel. And together, let's do great things for God.